Alright, hello everyone. Today we'll be looking at some of these egos here and then we'll talk about Faust in great detail because Faust is extremely insane. Let's talk about this 100-footed death maggot first. This is mainly a centipede venom ego. It applies this special venom that applies defense level down at turn end, and then you also take gluttony damage equal to the stack, and then you half the stack rounded down. When the target dies, you transfer this poison to an enemy or another part depending on what kind of enemy you're fighting. This also likes negative effects on yourself and the main target. It inflicts sinking and rupture, and it likes gluttony or gloom resonance, and preferably likes to have sinking on the ID because then you can get free offense level up. I'm not sure what kind of ID is going to want this, but maybe it's going to be a rupture sinking type of ID. I think the hair actually kind of gives you a clue into what kind of character this ID might belong to, but at the same time the bun hair is actually quite common in the story, so can't be 100% certain. But the next one is going to be Red Dawn. Red Sheet Dawn is also very interesting. The Twisted Curse Talisman, I haven't actually tested this one yet, but this part here, at 10 plus stacks, when taking 30 plus damage from a skill, you gain +1 rupture count and you take gluttony damage equal to the rupture potency on self once per turn. So because there's this punctuation here, I think that this is separate from this, so you might be able to actually get more than 1 rupture count. But this additional take gluttony damage equal to rupture potency on self is a nice proc of the extra gluttony damage that you're going to do. This ego is also pretty solid because it's AoE, and then you can also have 2 rupture count and 4 potency, allowing you to be neutral, rupture, and also apply a bunch of potency to the targets that you're hitting. And the passive is very interesting because if the target either has 15 rupture or if the unit dealt a critical hit, you inflict 1 defense level down. So that's 2 defense level down egos, either for damage or for a future ID that might like defense level down enemies. Or this ID, whatever it's going to be, right, is going to be a 15 and 3 ID, 15 potency, 3 rupture count, or it's going to be an ID that really wants to do criticals. So maybe we'll get a C Heishou for Dawn, or you get another Mao for Dawn that can also do a bunch of crits with a certain skill of hers. So it looks very interesting, and this can stack up to 6 times, which is very interesting. I wonder how many coins we're going to get on whatever ID this Dawn is going to be later on. Alright, so that's going to be all the little secrets that we can glean from the Battle Pass ego. Let's go into the Mao Faust, who is an incredibly ridiculous ID. This character is absolutely insanely broken. The first 2 skills is nothing much to talk about. If you looked at Ryoshu skill 1 and skill 2, they are roughly the same. Skill 1 blink step is the same, rupture count, reuse coin, rupture count. Skill 2 has 50% damage multiplier based on Tianju star times your speed difference, so you want to be very fast. You have rupture count, you have rupture potency coin power, and you have speed difference coin power. You also gain haste from the skill 2, and you also are rupture count neutral, and you also have another multiplier if there's death right haste or death right fissure. Very simple skill to actually understand compared to all of the other stuff that we'll be looking at later. Death right fissure, really good because you can basically burst it all in 1 turn with this character, and the enemy will take gluttony damage equal to rupture potency on themselves, and you also apply a stack of Mark of Decay that lets your allies deal 10% more with gluttony and 10% more with death right. Very strong stuff. You have a natural multiplier for speed difference. You gain Tianju star blades through your death right effects or through assist defense activation. Tianju goes up to 20. At 10 you get 1 additional haste. This extra 1 bit of haste actually makes you faster than most of your Mao characters on the field. Very powerful speedy character. If this unit trigger a death right effect, you gain additional. And guess what? The skill tree, it has by default death right haste, and in the advanced form you have 2 of them, so you can trigger multiple of this line over here. Assist defense is also insanely strong because unopposed attack, it lets you intercept with your defense skill, and it also gives you 5 of the Tianju Star Blade, which you will want a lot of in order to go and destroy your enemies. And then the last part here is just offense level up next turn. It's not that important because you will always be using this character. It is extremely powerful. Your guard skill and your skill tree give you assist defense. Skill tree, only the basic one gives you assist defense. The advanced one does not give you assist defense. So you will want to build up a few assist defenses through your guard skill usage. You get Strider from guard skill, so make sure you always use your guard skill before you do anything. And then this swift flip protection only activates when assist defense is activated. Your ally must not have a defense skill. They must be unopposed attacked, right? And then you trigger this, you activate Swift Fleet, and if you have 10 plus, you instead go into skill 3-2, otherwise you get all of these effects over here. Skill 3 is going to be your box standard Mao Ryoshu skill tree. You will deal additional reuse coin. You only have 2 coin power. Yes, I only say 2 coin power, plus an additional 1 with 15 potency. You get your Strider back, your Rupture count positive with this Death Rise hits, and you deal additional damage here and additional damage here. So it's actually very standard compared to Ryoshu. But then we go to 3-2. Now we are talking about some crazy shit, because now you get another +1 coin power here, and this coin power goes up to 2, so it gives you a 2 and a 2 for a 4. And remember, this is a reuse coin, so it's 8, right? It's 8 in total per coin. 8, 16, 24, 32, 32 plus 5, 37 rolling coin. In terms of damage, you have a 50% multiplier here. You gain 20 poise, and you also gain 4 poise count if you have less than 4 poise count. And this is a requirement. You must always be 10 speed before you use the 3-2 if possible, otherwise you really miss out on massive value on this thing, because now you get guaranteed crit. 20 poise is guaranteed crit, 1 poise is 5% crit chance, so 5 times 20, 100% crit chance, and that means that you will get the multiplier from critting, which I think is 50%, so 50, 100, 100, and then 130. And then remember, Death Rite Fissure, it pops, it deals gluttony damage, and then Death Rite Haste, it also lets you become Rupture count positive and also take gluttony damage pop again. So you pop here and then you pop here, and you also consume 10 Tianju Star Blade. Consuming 10 Tianju Star Blade is painful, but also not that bad, because remember, when you trigger a Death Rite effect, you gain 1 additional Tianju Star Blade. So that means that whenever you use your skill 3-2, you eat 10, you trigger all this, you get back additional 5, which is absolutely insane. And remember, if your assist defense also triggers in this timing when you're using your 3-2, you will also be able to attack again, and that will give you another 5 Tianju Star Blade, letting this character do a lot of 3-2s very, very frequently. Of course, you want to ideally have a team of Death Rite triggerers who can just keep doing Death Rite effects, so they can keep feeding you this Tianju, so that basically every single turn you can use your 3-2 every single turn, right? Because all you need is this extra 5 if you want to hit it yourself, sure, and then you have assist defense triggering as long as you plan for that, or if you don't even need to plan for that, you can just keep stacking the assist defense. Assist defense can stack up to 3 times, so you don't even need to use it if you don't want to. It's just that means that if you can't trigger it often, that means every 2 turns then you will use your skill 2. That's it. That's all it means. Every 2 turns you use an insanely powerful skill that has guaranteed crit on it, and it does all of this shit over here. So yeah, this ID is absolutely ridiculous. Unga Bunga wise, however, you will not be able to get this section over here, but you can still get this section over here. Then assist defense, you also trigger it normally, right? So you can still trigger the Tianju Star Blade effects every now and then, and this character can totally Unga Bunga by herself. It's just that the Rupture part might be a bit hard. Specifically this one, 15 Rupture potency is not very easy to go and get, but for skill 2 it's only 4, and for skill 1 it's only 4, so it's extremely easy for her to actually go and do it herself, unless you have a bunch of other allies who go and eat the Rupture immediately, in which case this part's pretty hard to get. But you always get +1 because you are always going to be fast, right? Over here is 2, and over here is going to be 2 just for having speed, and that 2 is already enough to make this a 6, 12, 18, 24, 29 already, as long as you have the 2 here. So not getting this part is not the end of the world, so Unga Bunga, this character is totally fine. If you are a new player and you want to get this character, holy shit, this character is absolutely insane, Unga Bunga. But if you want to go and get a Death Rite team, this character becomes even more insane, just because you're getting fed a bunch of Tianjus, so you can spam your 3-2 even more than usual. I don't need to explain this character anymore. Basically, if you need to run this character without a brain, you just use your defense. Activate defense, activate Strider Mao. Once you see the win around your character, press win rate. No joke, just press the win rate button. The character plays by itself. Even if you don't get 3-2 on your skill tree, you're still getting a Mao Ryoshu skill tree. That is still very, very ridiculous, right? This skill loses no power, by the way, compared to the Mao Ryoshu. It's almost exactly the same in terms of power level. It's just this one is even more ridiculous than this one. That's the only thing that changes. So win rate, just pop all of these things here, doesn't matter. When you see the speed disappear, then pop the defense skill again. And the assist defense, it will come when you pop this one time, and then you pop this one other time later on, and they'll give you another assist defense. Whether it triggers or not doesn't even matter. If you don't trigger it, then you didn't need to anyway, right? You're already winning the fight. But if it does trigger, that means you're going to do an insane amount of damage, and you can help protect one of your allies. It's very, very insane. Okay. The last little detail to talk about is 4 to 7 speed and also 251 max HP. If we were to look at the Rupture Team Comp as of now, Deviat Rodion has 225 at level 50, level up 239. At 55, Faust has 251, so highest HP. What does that mean? It means that Faust is now the new Lobotomy Red Sheet girl, because Lobotomy Red Sheet gives only to the highest resonance times 2. And this talisman here, basically now with our fielded team of 7 IDs, right, we can get up to 14 talisman onto our Faust. And our Faust can reuse coin 4 times. If you have assist defense also trigger on the same turn and also have enough Tianju blades, then yeah, you are going to do an even crazier amount of potency application. Even if we assume you only use the bare minimum of 4 resonance, you have 8 talisman on Faust, she still does a reuse coin of 4, right? So 8, 16, 24, 32 potency. Absolutely insane stuff to go and look at. And of course, you can always use lasso to guarantee 3 applications. So that means you will be able to do 8, 16, 24, which is already 15 and 3 met. That thing your Deviat or your Sanct Massault already hit the requirement, right? Although you probably don't want to use Deviat just because you want to have the C's on the field just to feed this one character here a bunch of the Star Blades later on, right? 7 Faust, be gone. This new character is absolutely ridiculous. 7 Faust is dead in the ditch. So your final team comp will look something like C, Heishou, Heishou, Heishou. These 5 are going to be very, very synergistic with each other just because all of them feed their stacks to this goddess over here. And this goddess will do a billion damage to whatever targets you want. The only weakness I can even find in this character is that her guard skill is not a evasion. That's it. I got nothing else to say on this character. Evasion means that you can dodge unbreakable coin, but counter you can't. So yeah, but at the same time, this character also has 251 HP. Yeah, 251 HP is absolutely ridiculous. So that character is extremely powerful. You always want her. There's no world you don't want her. I once again recommend everyone to resist the urge to pull just because Walpurgis is coming. But I already have multiple people with the ID from my borrow section over here. So yeah, if you're gonna pull for it, just pull for it anyways. As long as you don't regret not having enough pulls for Walpurgis, I think you'll be totally fine, because this character is definitely not a regret character. You absolutely always pull this character, or sorry, not pull, dispense this character. Absolutely always dispense this character. She is insanely strong. A ridiculous character with assist defense. I can't believe she got assist defense, and then a 3-2 that is just out of this world, really. The fact that it gives you 20 poise is crazy, because this character is not normally a crit character, but then her skill 3-2 has 20 poise, which makes her automatically a crit character. Yeah, the other 2 skills don't have any crits. Then you look at the Blade lineage, they have to use skill 1 and skill 2. Then this character, no, I just use my skill 3-2. I already crit on that one. Yeah, so that's going to be it, I think, for this video here. Thanks guys for watching. If you have any other stuff to ask or to add, then feel free to comment down below. I can't wait to see what other funky IDs they're going to add with the Dawn Ego and the Ishmael Ego. And this character, I'm absolutely 100% dispensing her the moment the Battle Pass is fully unlocked and I can get all my crits. Alright, so that's going to be it guys. Thanks for watching and I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.